Hi, I'm Josh.
And I'm Kirstie.
Today we're going to be talking about shooting people, shooting guns.
Shooting.
Guns.
Lots of guns.
So we're not talking about blank firers or real guns, we're talking about plastic guns, rubber guns, BB guns, the kind of guns where you'll add the muzzle flashes on in post.
Tip number 1, be careful and be prepared.
To most people, this is going to look like a real gun. And even in countries where guns are plentiful, as soon as you start pointing them at someone's face, people don't like that.
You need to be able to consider whether people are able to see you, and that's whether or not you're on private property or out in public. Make sure you have a member of your team in high vis around so that you can let people know what's going on.
So whenever you're shooting, contact your local authorities. They need to know when you're doing this kind of stuff, so they know when people are running around with guns, but they'll also be able to give you guidance as to how to keep safe and keep everyone around you safe too. How do I choose the right guns?
So for fake guns, you can spend anywhere from $10 to hundreds of dollars. You tend to be able to get them on Amazon, or you can get them from model or toy shops. Before you start with something big like the A-Team, think about how long muzzle flashes are going to take you. They can be quite tedious, so if you have 200 of them in one of your films, that's going to be really difficult to do in post. Why not start off with a couple of handguns and not go for something like the Matrix?
So you could spend like $150 on something like this. It's gas powered, has a realistic action, and it's nice and heavy. Or save loads of money, it still looks good on camera, it's only going to be about a quarter of the cost. You could have 4 of these, or just save the difference.
So you've chosen the gun you want, you've bought it, how do you make it look realistic?
So if you've just bought a gun like this off eBay, it's probably got an orange tip on the end, and you can just spray paint that. But also there's all sorts of plastic parts on it, and if you get a BB gun that's cheaper, it will be plastic. So what you can do with that is you can dry brush it with some silver. This will add sort of a metallic effect to it, especially around the edges where they might have got worn, and it's a great way of making them look much better.
Filmright have an awesome video which will show you all about these kind of practical tips, and you can find it here.
Instructing your actors on how to handle guns.
So while a lot of you have probably handled guns before, there are probably just as many of you who haven't. So don't worry, we've got a couple of quick tips on showing you how to handle the guns.
So the problem with plastic guns is they're often really light, not like a real gun at all. So your actor's not really going to know how heavy that should be. So Google the gun that you're using, find out what its real weight is, get them to hold a bag of sugar or something equivalent to that so they know what the gun should feel like in their hands.
For any gun type that you have, there's probably a YouTube video out there somewhere with a professional showing you how to hold it and how to stand while holding it. Lots of films and TV shows gloss over this a bit, so it's up to you as to how important you feel this is.
So if your actors have never fired a gun before, simply get them to hold it in the right stance and then just whack the end of it, and that will give them the impression of what it would feel like if they're shooting the gun. You should always underplay this stuff. If you start exaggerating it and it goes all kind of crazy, it never looks good and it always looks amateur.
You don't even have to really shoot the guns. Guns can make hilarious additional prop weapons if you're wanting to hit someone in the face with the butt of it or something.
Things to consider when you're filming.
If you've bought a cheap looking gun, you might find that it has a solid barrel, so you don't want to be taking any shots where you're looking directly into the face of the gun, because then it's going to show people that it's just a cheap prop.
The other thing about metal and plastic guns is they don't really take that well to being flung about. So if your stuntman's going to jump and drop the guns, or you're just wanting to throw them on a wall or something, have a stunt gun. Try and find a rubber weapon or a plastic weapon that's really cheap and you don't mind getting smashed to pieces, because these things really aren't that strong. Another thing to remember when you're filming is you're going to be wanting to add muzzle flashes onto this stuff. So you need to keep an element of your background in the shot so you can track it. This will allow you to add the muzzle flash and the smoke and all of those kind of things on so they actually feel like part of the scene.
So if you want the full story on how to add muzzle flashes in post, Simon's done an awesome tutorial which you can find on our channel, and it's going to take you through all of the steps you need to take to create an awesome muzzle flash.
In the meantime, please consider subscribing to our channel.
You can ask us questions down below, or you can hit us up on Twitter.
See you next time.
Bye!
Hello, Simon here. We've teamed up with NPC and FutureLearn to develop a brand new online visual effects course. It's completely free, you can sign up right now, and it begins on the 8th of February. It'll last for 4 weeks and then it'll be gone. So sign up today so you don't miss out.